So the Galaxy S24 Ultra, it looks absolutely stunning, and I am so happy today to be reviewing it. I'm Zach with Android Digest, and I just have to say, I am blown away by the Galaxy S24 Ultra. I am absolutely shocked at how good it is, and when I really think about the value of this phone, I understand this might not be the best value out there. There might be some better bargains out there on the market, but if you're looking for one of the best Android phones out, there is no doubt you're gonna find it in the Galaxy S24 Ultra. They maybe just had some refinements, I understand. It's not a brand new product that just trailblazes the future. In a lot of ways, it's just a refinement of what Samsung has done in the past. But regardless of all of those things, this phone is going to be neck and neck with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's going to be neck and neck with all of the top competition out there. And I really think Samsung has done a tremendous job. Now, if we look at this phone first, you're going to see the design of it, okay? The design is really not setting itself apart all that much. But if you compare it to something like the Galaxy S23 Ultra, you will see they refined a few things that I very much like. So the screen this year is an anti-reflective screen. It does actually help a lot with reflections, but someone like me, a normal everyday person, I'm not going to notice that because the screen is now flat and you could actually put a tempered glass screen protector on it. That is a major win for your normal everyday consumers, but you do have to remember, if you do have a tempered glass screen protector on there, it is going to take away a lot of that anti-reflective capability, so you're just going to be left with a normal looking screen anyway. But regardless, if you don't have a tempered glass screen protector on, maybe you decide to use Samsung's anti-reflective screen protector that they actually put out. It's not tempered glass, but it does help a little bit to cut down on those reflections. It is nice that we have a screen that is less reflective, because you could really notice a big difference if you're actually trying to. Now, if you look beyond that, you're gonna see, well, a lot of similarities between this and the S23 Ultra. The back isn't gonna look all that different, but you will notice titanium is in the build this year. That's really, really cool. You still have your S pin here on the bottom that just pops out, so that is really, really nice. Now, we don't have an SD card or a headphone jack or anything like that, but the fingerprint sensor is actually improved over last year. I did hear that they actually installed a newer sensor, so I don't know all the details, but it is an ultrasonic sensor. It does unlock the phone very, very fast, and once you get into the phone, I have to say, you are going to be so impressed by the display. Now, technically, compared to the S23 Ultra, I don't think you're gonna see a big difference. Of course, we have heard some complaints out there that say the screen isn't quite as vivid as last year. Honestly, I couldn't tell much of a difference when I had them side by side. I could say the S23 Ultra maybe had a little bit of different colors on the display, but it's not something your everyday person will notice. But if you do want to have a Quad HD resolution, you get that in a beautiful 6.8-inch screen with the 3120 by 1440 resolution. It looks absolutely great. Of course, you get 120 Hertz, 2600 nits of peak brightness. A lot of these things nowadays that we're adjusting aren't that big of a deal. In fact, I have to say, we are in a day and age now where it doesn't really matter if you have 2600 nits or 1000 nits. I think your average user even is just fine with 1000 nits. But we are just improving things more and more and more so that we can get better visibility outside. I'm sure some people will notice those extra little bumps, but I don't think too many people anymore are going to notice a little bit higher brightness. But hey, 2600 nits is still very impressive. The screen is bright. It looks amazing and immersive whenever I'm watching content. I have to say, this is definitely going to be one of the best screens out, of course, with this Samsung AMOLED technology. Now, when we go to performance, it's the same type of thing, right? It's sort of a boring review in a way because the display is going to be top of the line. The performance, well, it's going to be top of the line. It's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, and you do get 12 gigs of RAM in the base model. So you're gonna find out if you have 10 or even 15 apps open, it does not matter. You could go from app to app, you could be able to transfer over no problem between apps. Is it a huge difference between this and the Galaxy S23 Ultra? Well, Not really. It's pretty similar. In fact, I would say the S21 Ultra will feel similar to an average person. We are again in a day and age where we're just making these minor improvements that a lot of people won't notice. But if you are someone that does a lot of heavy gaming, you are going to notice this phone will perform very, very well with gaming. It's going to do tremendous. It's going to be able to have top-notch settings with good frame rates and all that. So I had a great experience gaming on this device. And that's why this phone is really the top of the line. No, not every spec is top of the line. If you look at some of the extra features, for example, the charging speed, it's not quite as good as something like the OnePlus 12. It's a 45-watt charging speed for a wired connection. It's a 15-watt wireless connection speed. So that is okay, but a lot of phones out there are pushing 80 or 100 watts. I'm seeing the OnePlus 12 release with like an 80-watt charger in the box. Actually, that's even the OnePlus 12R for $500. So to see those things, it's amazing to see that the industry is pushing forward. Samsung is not quite on that level with those extra features, but again, is it something that your average person's going to notice? Not really. It's just a minor thing. So if you look at it, you're getting a top-of-the-line screen, you're getting top-of-the-line performance, and you also get an S Pen here, which actually adds to the experience in a lot of ways. If you are someone who just wants to take some quick notes or draw, or maybe you just need a little bit of extra precision, you're really going to get that with this S Pen. So that's why I say it's one of the best phones out, right? You get top-of-the-line specs in almost every single category. You really just have to suffer a little bit as far as the charging speeds. But outside of that, you're getting an amazing phone. And the cameras this year are absolutely amazing. Now, they did make some changes some people will love and some people won't. They did replace the 10x camera that they had. It really helped you with a lot of great zoom shots, right? But what they found was a lot of people out there, they don't take as many zoom shots. And I know for myself personally, I wasn't taking a lot of 40x or 50x or 100x photos. That was extremely rare for me. But for me, I'm actually trying to zoom in around 5x, around 7x. I'm trying to get really good shots of my family and other things in my environment at those levels of zoom. So when you look at it, a person like me would do way better off with a 5x lens than we would with a 10x, because the 10x we don't use quite as often. So getting a higher megapixel 5x lens, that is actually a big upgrade for me, and I know for a lot of other people. Because they did improve the megapixel count in it, they did improve the quality of that lens. So if you are even zooming to 40, 50, or 60x, I know a 10x lens would normally do better in those situations, but you're actually going to be very, very close in quality between the 5x and 10x because it's actually a higher quality 5x lens. So all that to say, the photos this year are great. They're amazing, even though they made one change that was a little controversial. When I'm taking pictures of my kids, when I'm taking pictures out in nature, I am getting tremendous photos, and the video quality, the 4K video quality obviously is great and tremendous. I'm not even going to talk about things like 8K because they're just not used right now, but the 4K video quality and also, again, the images of my kids, I absolutely love it. And the shutter lag was reduced a little bit this year. Even though it is still present, it's a little bit reduced compared to previous generations. And one other thing I used these cameras for, it was taking pictures and videos of my cat. Because my cat is a really cool part of my life and a really cool part of my family. And whether you're a dog person or a cat person, you know, taking pictures of your pets, right? It's a really, really big deal. So this phone was able to take some really good pictures and some really good videos. I was also able to use my phone here to actually check the Whisker app. So Whisker is actually a company that made the Litter Robot 4. It's a robot litter box that I use for my cat. And that's why Whisker is sponsoring this video, because it has been a lifesaver for me personally as a pet owner, because I'm a really techie person and I hate the idea of cleaning up after my animals, right? It's just annoying, it takes a lot of time, and it's just messy and nasty. So that's why I love the Litter Robot 4, because whenever my cat does its nasty little business, it actually sifts out all that nasty litter and it hides it. So I don't have to see it, and so I don't have to smell it. It actually blocks out a lot of those odors so they can't get out. So you could put this Litter Robot 4 in the middle of your home, or you could keep it in the basement like I do. I just prefer to keep it away from everything. But either way, it actually tracks your cat's weight. It will actually notify you if the litter is running low or if the trash can is full. So you don't have to scoop any of that stuff anymore. You don't have to mess with it because this actually does all the work for you. All you really have to do is take out the trash and then just put a new trash bag in. It's really tremendous. I absolutely love my Litter Robot 4. And if you check the link in the description, there's going to be a lot of great deals there. They have it on sale at Best Buy and a lot of other places. So check out the Litter Robot 4, and thank you Whisker for sponsoring this video. So we're getting a great camera, tremendous camera. We're getting a phenomenal display, phenomenal performance, and just a hair behind in some of the extra features. But on the other hand, we have Samsung DeX, which you're not going to get in a lot of other phones. We have 7 years of software updates, and we also have a lot of brand new Galaxy AI features. So one of my favorites, and honestly one of the only ones that I really actually use personally, is the Circle to Search. Now that is coming to a lot of Google Pixel phones, or it already has came to some Pixel phones. But all you have to do is hold on your little navigation bar at the bottom, and it will pop up with a little menu where you could just circle anything you want, and it will Google it for you. And I found that was very helpful for me because you could actually circle anything with text and it will actually allow you to copy that text. So if you need to copy something on your screen really quickly, it's going to be a little bit quicker than something like Google Lens. If you want to search something quickly, it's going to give you that capability to really narrow down what you want to search. So that is a really helpful feature. Of course, they do have some features that help you, like to rewrite your text messages to make them sound cooler. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. And of course, if you do take photos, you could actually edit them. And I had a lot of issues with the Google Pixel photo editor because for some reason it won't let you edit like a thumbnail with your hand. It doesn't want you to really mess with people. It doesn't want to regenerate your hand, for example. But when it came to Samsung, they were a lot less restrictive with their Magic editor. So I was actually able to edit a lot of photos. You could move things around in your photos. You could make them larger or smaller. It will just put a little AI watermark on the pictures. But it was a great experience for me, especially as someone who does a lot of YouTube thumbnails. It's going to be very handy to be able to really manipulate photos around. So if I look at the total package of this phone, right, how good is it compared to the S23 Ultra? Well, the S23 Ultra is honestly going to be almost the same phone for most people. This has a flat screen. That's a plus. It is a screen that is less reflective, and that can be a plus depending on if you put a screen protector on or not. So there are two things there, and of course it has some AI features and a little bit of better performance and a little bit of a switch up in one of the camera lenses. But outside of that, the camera quality in the main camera, it's going to be about the same as the S23 Ultra. There's not going to be a huge difference. As far as the speed on this phone, it's going to be very similar. Yes, it will have higher benchmarks, but it's going to be very similar to the S23 Ultra. But nowadays, with this new line of phones, we do get 7 years of software updates. That's one big reason to get a phone like this if you want to keep it for a very long time. You might prefer the flat screen, and that might be a very significant thing if you want to protect your phone. And another factor is a lot of great carrier deals out there, or a lot of great sales. You'll see a lot of great trade-in deals through Samsung, for example, and it might make it tempting just to upgrade anyway. But this is not a huge jump forward from the S23 Ultra or even the S22 Ultra. It is just a refinement. But when you're refining one of the best phones out, when you are refining a phone that is going neck and neck with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, when you're refining something as great as the S23 Ultra, honestly, you're going to get a tremendous experience, and you're going to get that in this phone. You have all of these things in the software, all these hidden gems that Samsung has put in their software. I love how their software looks. I love how customizable it is. I love the option of having Samsung DeX, being able to connect to a monitor. I love having a phone that has the best display, arguably, out of any phone out there. I love having a phone that has arguably the best performance out of any Android phone out there. A phone that arguably has the best and most versatile camera system on the market. No, it's not quite as good as far as the lens quality as some phones out there, right? I get that. But when you look at the overall versatility and when you look at how good Samsung's AI is to making photos look good, honestly, it's going to be, I would say, the best camera you're going to get on a smartphone. So if you look at all of these things, I would say this is the best phone that you could buy. Plus, there's a lot of awesome colors as well. So would I recommend this phone? Absolutely. I would say this is the best smartphone you could buy. Now at the same time, is it the smartphone for everyone? Well, no. Some people prefer foldable phones. Some people prefer Pixel and they love Pixel UI and how Pixel phones feel and look. And I'm actually one of those people, right? So if you are a person like that, yeah, you might prefer a different phone. And if you want the best value out there, I think the OnePlus 12 is arguably the best value phone out of any phone out, or the OnePlus 12R. Those phones are great deals right now, and the deals will only get better over time. There's also great deals on Pixel phones. There's so much competition out there in the world. So if you're looking for a good deal and a good value, I think you're gonna find a lot of great deals elsewhere. And if you're someone who is very stingy with your money, we are in an amazing age where you could get great smartphones for $400 or $500. So if you are a value hunter, I do not recommend you come here. But if you want the best smartphone on Android, if you want one of the best smartphones in the entire smartphone market, I would say that is going to be the Galaxy S24 Ultra. So hopefully this review has helped you out. If you do like it, please give me a sub and give me a like to this video as well. By the way, check out those links in the description, especially those links to the Litter Robot 4. That is a great way to support me, to support my sponsors. I very much appreciate them. And check out some other content if you get a little bit of time. I do cover a lot of different videos and a lot of different tech products. So I hope you have a great day, and I really hope you enjoy your week.